of sharing his best practices with other speakers and is looking forward to sharing them with you in this exciting workshop. Please welcome Oren Weintraub. Yay!
Thank you so much, Tanya. That is awesome. And what we're focusing on is creating a sensational speech in a matter of minutes. That might seem like an impossible task. So let me assure you it is possible, and we're each going to get to do one right now. So here's a warning we're going to start with. This is a workshop. This is not a speech. So I know a lot of us, we want to be inspired. We want to hear some stories. We want content. I promise we're going to get all that. And it is each of us that's going to have to do the work for the next 40 minutes or so while we're here together. It's only through doing that work that we can achieve something monumental like writing That is a clue, people. You want to write a sensational speech. That is a clue. We've got to get in the game like Alex has done. So what I'm hearing is that what really creates that sensational experience, it's not the topic. It's actually the attitude of the person who's willing to stand up and their skill as a speaker, their ability to touch our hearts. It's not the topic that does it. And so for those of us who are experiencing writer's block and we have that blank canvas and we're not able to think of topics, first of all, we now have a plethora of topics that we can choose from, and the pressure is now off that, by the way, that topic, that's not even what's going to make it sensational. It's our ability to be vulnerable. It's our ability to be a leader. It's our willingness to share and be a contribution to our audience. That's an attitude. It's our skill, which is something that is developed through experience, not just sitting every single meeting, sitting and watching other people speak. No matter how much I watch, there's only so much I can absorb without getting up there and practicing. So that is all about attitude and skill. Let's see who's got a reaction to that. Go ahead and go in the chat and write. What do you think about this? How's that percentage? Is that correct according to you? Would you say it's different? Go ahead and type into the chat. What do you think about this? Is sense agreed? Yeah, Tracy, thank you. Makes sense. Monique, thanks. Gina, yep. Okay, great. So let's go with this, and let's shift from topics to talking more about the kind of attitude and the kind of commitment we need to have if we want to get to a place where we can create a sensational speech in a matter of minutes. Now, another thing that sometimes gets in our way in terms of attitude could be our self-confidence or our self-esteem. So, for example, some people say, "Well, Oren, I'm not sensational. I'm not a sensational person. I'm an average Joe." You know, I relate to that. I don't think I'm sensational. I really don't. I think that probably most speakers who touch us don't think that they're sensational. And it's not really about us being sensational. It's about the experience we want to create for our club, that the speech, it's creating a sensational speech. Um, who's got an experience either about themselves or somebody they know from their life or from their club, either by raising your hand or type into the chat and let us know, what have you seen either in a member in your club or in yourself, a time when you felt that perhaps you didn't have it in you to create that experience because you just didn't see yourself. Yeah, Lloyd, yeah. Who would want to listen to me speak? Nice. Raise your hand if that's ever been the case for you. You felt like you didn't have something sensational to offer, and that's holding you back. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, Kathy, go ahead. Would you share, a bit of what was your mindset, what was going on for you at the time that was the block that you felt you weren't able to share something sensational?
I think for me, some of it is I have a perfectionist streak. And so you're always second guessing yourself and saying that's not good enough, or you've seen other speakers and you say you're comparing yourself and saying I could never step up and be at that same level.
So feeling like we see others and they're so great and I don't have that, and it might be the perfectionist in us. Nice, Kathy. Yeah, what else? We had a few hands up. Madame Apana.
Yeah, for me it is when you are blocked somewhere, you just need to a positive attitude, breathe in, and then smile, and the idea will come again to your mind.
So
because
it's
always like that. At times we are so stressed, we are blocked.
So it's because we're looking for it that we're blocked.
So you breathe in.
If we would just allow it, then it might come to to start on my journey to become a better speaker. And that's that every master was once a disaster. Every master was once a disaster. We are all starting somewhere. Many people are, Ellen, thanks for what you shared in the chat. We could be very sensitive about, about this. And the truth of the matter is that wherever we are, that's where we are. So principle number 3 is start here, wherever here is for you. And that could be with having some, certain unhelpful beliefs about ourselves, perhaps limiting beliefs about ourselves and what we're capable of. It could be that our skill is not at the level where we want it to be. We've just joined. We want to be amazing right now. Let's be kind to ourselves. And thank you to Kathy and Madame Apana for your excellent shares and your vulnerable shares, willing to come on and say that. Well, sometimes I'm stuck because I'm saying, well, I have to come up with something right now. No, I don't. Let's take a deep breath. I am where I am, and I'm going to start from there. Tracy, thanks for that. Looking for your purpose as a speaker. Wow. Tracy, would you be willing to come on the mic for a sec and say a bit about that? What does that mean to you, finding your purpose?
Sure. I just don't know what it is. I've seen so many amazing speakers and they've all struggled through hardship in their life and they found their way out the other side and they're so inspiring. But like I said earlier in their chat, my life's been kind of boring. I want to speak and I've been told I'm super engaging and I can get people riled up. I just can't figure out what message fits for
Who here is a perfectionist? Show of hands, who is a perfectionist? Uh-huh. Okay, well, guess what? Your arm's not straight. Get it? Well, I think we have a lot of perfectionists here. I think Toastmasters attracts a certain type in us as perfectionists. I also love to make sure everything is perfect. Well, you know, it was really, I found it was very timely in Gary's message this morning when he said, your life is perfectly designed to create the results that you're going to create. He said something around those lines, and I heard that and I said, wow, that's so true. My life is perfectly designed. And this is what we're talking about here, is allowing it to be, yeah, Lily, exactly, the courage to be imperfect. We're talking about sensational here, and sensational doesn't mean perfect. When I remember the first time I got to participate in the International Speech Contest, it was 2013. And by some magic, I made it straight to the district. And my very first time participating in the speech contest, I made it to the district and I came in third place. And it was a speech called "The Three Dream Stealers." And I talked about this kind of topic, but it was like it was so magical how the speech came together. Oh, Shirley, you were there. Thanks. It was an amazing experience, and very few of us get to have that. The first time we take a shot at something, we go so far. Well, as you might imagine, that created quite a bit of pressure for myself, and I found myself in 2014. You know, of course I'm gonna participate again. Sue says it wasn't by fluke. I was sensational. Thanks so much. I appreciate that, Sue. I really did my best, and I threw myself in it the best that I could. And what ended up happening was the following year in 2014, I came back at it and I said, got to do better than last year. I'm going further. I'm going to the internationals. And it was hell writing that next speech. What speech did I write the next year? Probably nobody heard it because I didn't get very far in the contest. It wasn't that great, and I didn't do that great. A lot of the challenges that I was having it was hell writing the speech because I had this terrible pressure that I was putting on myself that it's got to be better than last year. But how could I ever beat last year? Last year was so good. Who's ever been there? Let's react with a heart if you've ever been there before as well, that we're feeling just like we're overwhelmed with last time and we're just not able to overcome that. Or maybe you know of a great speaker, maybe one of the world champions, a past world champion, and you see them and you say, wow, I'll never be able to, I'll be able to do that, but it seems like it's so far. It seems like an insurmountable obstacle. Here's the thing we've got to remember, folks. Sensational doesn't mean perfect. Please write this down. For those of us who are perfectionists and we're willing to admit it, sensational doesn't mean perfect. Just because I've attended many of those speeches, many of them don't think that they're sensational. They don't think they did a sensational job. In fact, many people get off stage and say, that was awful. I made so many mistakes. I forgot about this part. I forgot about that part. And now we're all sitting there watching them and saying, that was amazing. You touched me. You moved me. I was crying. So we've got to remember that what it was a sensational experience for the audience, it doesn't mean that it was perfect for the person. And that's okay. Yeah, Julie, same thing happened to me. Lots of lessons. Yes. Please type into the chat whenever you relate to something, or if that happened to you. If you want to say something, go ahead and write in the chat or raise your hand. Alex, I see your hand is up again. Did you want to share something, or was that a reaction from earlier?
What I had wanted to say is that what I see now is that it's not the speech that I'm giving. I'm trying to give a gift, a present, sharing something. Like, for instance, now when I speak, I'm not speaking about me, but I'm speaking about us. I'm speaking about something that I perhaps can relate. But again, there's this notion of universality. There's this notion that I'm there to give something,
Mhm.
whatever it is, a part of my mind, a part of my soul, a part of my being, but something that I've lived, and then that's going to resonate with you. And I
Mhm.
think that maybe that's why you probably knocked it out of the park the first time. You were thinking more about the audience. The second time you were thinking more about, I got to do this, I got to do that. And that's actually, I'm getting an
Wow.
insight into that's probably the whole notion behind my writer's block, and probably a way to work through it. So thank you.
Wow, Alex, that more vulnerability. Thank you so much. It's interesting when we focus on others and making an impact on others, when we're eager to contribute to make a difference, all of a sudden that ability to connect comes out. And I think that Alex and anyone who related to what Alex just said, that will relate to the next piece here. Some of us feel like, yeah, you know, I could create that sensational speech, but it would take too much time. Many of us are busy. We're busy beavers. We have so much going on between work, taking care of the kids, trying to have some quality me time. Some of us get busy helping our club and being leaders in our club. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying some of us use that as an excuse to stop doing speeches. And I've seen that in my own club. Maybe you've seen that in your club. We become very busy and we're constantly too busy to write that next speech because it's going to take too much time. Okay, let's react with a heart if that has ever happened to you, perhaps currently. Monique, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Oren. I totally get the environment of being busy within your club. You're part of the executive. You're mentoring your mentees, and at the same time, you want to move yourself forward. And it is at times really difficult to get into that creative mindset. And I am definitely a split personality. I'm a Gemini, which means I have the right brain and the left brain having an argument with each other. So the perfectionist
from that, and then we just say, what have I got to work with? I'm going to talk about meditation. I'm going to talk about why meditation is close to me. I'm going to tell stories about that. And I'm going to get up there and I'm unattached to how it goes. Maybe I'll win the ribbon tonight. Maybe I won't. In my case, when I let go of that and I lost that attachment, something amazing happened, and I finally found what it is to be connected. And today, I barely spend any time preparing a speech. We have some things going on in the chat. That's why I'm kind of glancing up here at my screen. The chat's going fast. You just spoke to my soul, Tracy. Okay, can you come back for a sec, Tracy? What did your soul hear?
I am a perfectionist to a fault, and I think that's probably likely the main roadblock to me figuring out what my purpose is as a larger speaker outside my club, is that need to be amazing.
Wow. Did it occur to you you're already amazing?
Not overly. I know my club loves me, but you can do no wrong sometimes in your club. So it's just about getting out there. But yeah, you're quite right. This is an awesome session. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And what if your club is not the be all end all of self-approval? Maybe the only approval is self-approval. That's why principle number 1 is you're awesome. You are now awesome. Congratulations. Let's start from there. So thank you for mentioning that this has made a difference to you.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks everyone for what you're writing in the chat. That no need for perfectionism to be alive, Kathy. Wow, super. Alex says you're already truly amazing, Tracy. Great job. Lily, yeah, no need to lose in order to win.
for that 5 to 7 minute speech. But what you just made me click on is, okay, you can have those sub points and stories for something that is that 20, 25-minute speech, something like we saw with Gary today. So just thanks for making that connection. That really sparked.
You're very welcome, Eric. And let's be intentional. Remember, this is a workshop. This is not a speech. So thanks to everyone who's been coming on the mic and speaking and taking notes. Now let's be intentional and let's take a sheet of paper and literally in the next 2 minutes, jot down as much as you can in the format that you see in front of you on the screen. Go ahead and grab a sheet of paper. I'm going to put a 2-minute timer on. A sheet of paper or a Word document if you have open on a separate screen. And let's take 2 minutes and get as far through this process as we can. And I challenge you, if you notice that perfectionist voice pop up, say thank you for sharing and go right on and jot down something else. Go ahead and go. 2 minutes. Put it together in a matter of minutes using this template by following the principles that we looked at today, including this one. Remember that Toastmasters is like a gym for our communication. We can go to the gym and just sit there and watch other people work out, or we can pick up and lift a weight and actually work on it. The only way to get to a point where we can create a sensational speech in a matter of minutes is if we are willing to first do all the work to create a sensational speech in perhaps a long time. Like we heard a moment ago, I think it was from Lydia, who took several years to complete her CC, but now she got through her next milestone in just a matter of months. That's what this is. Remember, there's a huge difference between getting prepared to speak and staying prepared to speak. And staying prepared to speak comes from lots and lots and lots of practice. Lots of verbal weightlifting. We've got to get in there and practice as much as we possibly can if we want to make a difference and get to a level where we can just not have to prepare very much anymore. So I want to thank Simon for inviting me here to talk about this topic today. And it was Simon who actually requested this topic. And remember, everyone, that if we just follow these principles, we will be able to create our sensational speech in a matter of minutes.